Good morning, everyone. Shay's Creations here again. And it's like 9 o'clock a.m., and I've already been to Home Depot, and I came home to get busy in that craft room, but I just got a little dizzy and everything, so I couldn't do it. I'm sitting here now. I just sat down with some salad and this drink that I want to show you that I tried this morning. I won't lie, I already poured out half the can. The other can half is frozen, and I purchased this bubble tea from Dollar Tree yesterday, and here is the bubble tea. The reason why it's crumbled up is because I had to try to empty it. I will not be drinking it, but I will tell you it is absolutely amazing. I would actually pay for this at a like a Starbucks or one of those type of things. I would actually pay for this if I was going to consume it. I would never consume this. It has 48 grams of sugar. And when I took the first sip, it was as if I was laying on the sand and surrounded by seaweed and all that other good stuff. And when I took the very first sip, I knew I was in love. But I said, this has to have a lot of sugar in it. If we know anything about sugar, sugar makes everything amazing. But with amazing comes problems down the line, and it comes with your health. So, with that said, I'm not going to consume it. I did take a sip, and I'm not gonna. I can't read pretty much the can. It does say bubble tea taro, but the small words and stuff like that, I can't read it. The back of the can where it has the ingredients, and you probably can read that, but I can't read that. But there's something in here. These little purple things, when I poured it into the sink, they started coming out of the can, but I ended up getting one in my mouth. I have no idea what that beautiful little consistent little bowl was, but it was nice. Um, it was nice. So at first I thought it was chocolate, but it's like maybe it's some type of fruit, but it's obviously probably not something that I'm accustomed to in the United States. But this, mm, I'm trying to think of how to say it because I don't want to get caught up in people's drama. Um, there are some nationalities that are known for very few obese people, and I really don't understand how when their desserts are so decadent. So I don't know how to say it cleaner than that. When that is, and especially when rice is a staple in some places, but this right here, my hand is freezing because it's frozen. I'm getting a little tired. Frozen, but like I told you, this stuff is just delicious. And since it's in my hand, I might as well just take one little sip since half the can was already disposed of. Mm, this is delightful, boys and girls. But if you have any love for yourself, let your curiosity be solved by this puzzle. This is good, but this will cause you, whether you get pain now or later on down the line, because they say sugar is linked to diabetes, sugar is linked to dementia, and all that other stuff. Honey, I started pouring that down the drain, and I went in there for my sugar-free water. Now, I know that there are things that they say about sugar-free as well, so we can't get it. We can't get it. We can't win at everything. But I'm gonna tell you this much: I'd rather sugar-free any day than 48 damn grams of sugar. Absolutely. Mm-mm. Absolutely. I I actually want a Snicker bar. I've been craving sweets for a while now, so I've been having, maybe one or two Snicker bars. But was walking in my pants, and I've had these pants for as long as I can remember, and all I do is wash and reuse these same pair of pants. And yesterday when I took them off, I threw them over the couch, And then today when I went to pick them up, I see that in between the leg bust a big hole. Plus the material was shedding out and everything. Now we already know I'm thick on the bottom, so I'm saying to myself now, do I get a sewing needle and try to sew this up, make it look all ratchet? Because I'm not a seamstress when it comes to stuff like that. Or do I take it to the cleaners and let them rob me of all this extra money, that I don't have? Or do I run over to the Salvation Army for 99 cents and buy me a new pair of jeans? So I'm actually thinking, and guess what? I was just in New Rochelle, when I was at Home Depot. But something told me to actually wait until they opened up. They're not even open now. They're not even open now. Somebody told me to wait until they wake up, go there, hit Home Depot, then hit Staples, then hit CVS, and then hit home. I can't consume all that activity in one day. In one day, I can't do it. So now I'm thinking, and I'm having a bowl of salad, and I do want to run to Aldi. I am right now with all this EBT stuff, and of course I was receiving EBT. I did not get EBT. I'm not gonna lay down and roll over. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm kind of thankful in ways that y'all may not understand, but I can only speak for myself, and I hope I'm not offending anybody. But I gotta get a sip of it, a taste of this real quick. Mm, mm, oh, mm, 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 ooh. I only had a little bit of cereal for breakfast. That tea has my stomach feeling nauseous because it's just too much sugar. Mm. But mm, 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 mm. I might ride over to Lardell and give me 2 more bags of salad. But one of the reasons why I'm kind of happy that what's going on now is going on. I've tried everything I can to earn. I did everything I could, so it's nothing like I didn't try. But now I'm sitting here like I'm realizing that I was right all along to keep trying, never to give up. So yesterday I almost wrote another book, and I said I only sold 2 books of my other books. So I actually received $4.90 residual from my book. So I'm thankful. I only hope whoever purchased the book, I hope they liked the book. But I almost wrote another book yesterday on my experience of living through this crisis now. But I always had the mindset that you just don't know when something's going to happen. You don't know when something's going to happen. So I'm always prepared. I'm always working towards what if. My doctor always told me, many people should think like you think. So now it's time. Everybody's talking about everybody's community need to come together. Everybody needs to do this. Everybody needs to do this. But what happened to that before? It should have never stopped. That should Everyone should want to be a good neighbor. You understand what I'm saying? You have an extra dish, slide it over to your neighbor. If you don't want to ring the bell, leave it in front of the door. Whatever the case may be. I have always been that neighbor because that's just who I am. Now looking at what's going on, I'm kind of scared to open up my front door because you just don't know who's going to come to the door and take your kindness or weakness and just take everything you have until you have nothing. And those are the very ones who are not willing to share with anyone else. But it is what it is. I'm sitting here now. I just used my over-the-counter card to pay my Wi-Fi and my electricity, and that's all I had enough for. Don't have enough for anything else. I'm walking around here with a car in the garage that I'm one accident away from not having a car anymore. And I'm dreading that. That's why I get so nervous when I'm get behind school buses and stuff like that, because you just don't know when anything can happen. But I don't have it. I was riding over something and boom, a flat tire. I do have two tires in the cabinet, but I do have access to someone who can fix the tire and everything. But I don't want to be ingratiating on someone else's kindness because everyone has to work, everyone has to do whatever they have to do. But you might notice my head is moving around. I got a bucket of coins in this room, and I was trying to put some coins in it this morning, but the whole entire bucket is gone. The whole bucket is gone, and I only had one person in my room. So there's no chance of it being stolen by yesterday, because yesterday was the only time that person was here. But I can't find my bucket, and I need it in my face to remind me to drop my coins in it, and I can't. I can't. I've been looking for it since this morning. MJ, you mentioned this chair. Mister. He as soon as he came up in here yesterday, his eye, a recliner. I have two recliners actually though. I have one in the living room and one in here. So I'm looking at him. That boy is so spoiled, MJ. He's spoiled. And I said to him because he said something about something that I picked him up in his store. He said, "How did you know I needed do I wanted to say so bad, do I look like the type of person to wait till you need something to put it in whatever?" So, but I'm just laughing. But in a few days, you'll see me sitting in a different chair. It might be today, but who knows? I don't know. All I do know is that I'm feeling, great because I realized that all I have to do for myself is keep on praying and stop stressing out, and I'm doing very well. The only thing I have to to figure out is how to fight the depression that I'm dealing with, because when this camera's not rolling, these eyes are watering. So that's the only thing. Sometimes I'm driving and I'm crying and tears rolling in my eyes, and you can see the other people on the side, like if it's a red light and they're looking, are you okay, whatever. But I can't do anything about that. I do have an appointment next month with my doctor. So, and it's no reason the appointment really doesn't matter because nothing's going to change. I'm just going to refill my prescription and go about my business. There is absolutely no cure for anything. The only closest cure you have to any type of ailment is when you get into herbals. That's the only thing I can tell you, because I thank God for my ashwagandha, my black seed oil, my sea moss, and my L-theanine. Every morning I take all of them like a drug addict. Pop, 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 pop. And I'm telling you, the amount of clarity that my head has for somebody with bipolar disorder, I'm never. And my thing now is, if this is a spammer, y'all gonna hear me with my whistle.